Remember when you ran away and I got on my knees and begged you not to leave because I'd go berserk? Well, you left me anyhow, and then the days got worse and worse, and now you see I've gone completely out of my mind. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha! You thought it was a joke, and so you laughed. You laughed when I had said that losing you would make me flip my lid. Right? You know you laughed. I heard you laugh. You laughed, and laughed, and then you left. But now you know I'm utterly mad. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit and smile and twiddle their thumbs and toes, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha. I cooked your food, I cleaned your house, and this is how you pay me back for all my kind, unselfish, loving deeds. Ha? Well, you just wait. They'll find you yet, and when they do, they'll put you in the ASPCA, you mangy mutt. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, to the happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit and smile and twiddle their thumbs and toes, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. Good to be with you today. This is Pastor Mike, where the temperature inside our top secret broadcasting compound deep in the heart of the Nevada desert is about 34 degrees. It is cold in here. I have a little space heater trying to warm my backside up. And I don't mean that in a rude fashion. Literally, the space heater is like back here, and this is my backside, and it's warming me up back there. Good to be with you today. I was scanning over the, let's see here, on Drudge Report. I went there earlier today just to see what was going on. By the way, I hope I remembered to do this, to talk about WorldNet Daily maybe a little bit later on. I don't like them very much anymore. I used to use WorldNet Daily stuff all the time. I'm getting where I don't like them anymore. But anyway, and now my Drudge Report page just changed over, so I got to figure out where I'm at. The lead article on Drudge Report earlier today was about Herman Cain. He is the, I don't know if he was the former head or still is the head of a chain of pizza restaurants called Godfather's Pizza. And anyway, he was running as a candidate for president of the United States. And he is one of these guys. The reason why I played this little audio thing at the beginning of the show, they're coming to take me away, was I remember back in the 90s, during the days when Bill Clinton was running for election and everything like that. You remember Ross Perot. Ross Perot was an independent businessman, a very wealthy man, who had just basically brought himself up and gained wealth that way. He didn't need government help or anything like that, even though he did have a lot of government contracts. But he started running for president, and he started gaining a lot of popularity. And it started to look like that if he ran against the Republicans and the Democrats in this country, that there was a chance, maybe a good chance, that he would have become the president of the United States. And just the way that he talked, the fact that he wasn't a politician, because everybody's tired of politicians, and on and on and on, and he was an outsider, and he had some ideas that kind of rang true with some people. And the fact that he wasn't attached to the platform of a political party. He could do pretty much what he wanted to do. So he started gaining quite an advantage, so much so that in the debate, I think it was 96, in the presidential debate, no, it wasn't. It had to have been It had to have been 92 because I was pastoring a little church out at Richwoods then. I remember it. So anyway, he's running for president, and he's gaining so much popularity that instead of just having a Democrat here and a Republican here, you have a Democrat, a Republican, and little bitty Ross Perot standing, along with them. And, people are starting to like what he has to say. All the polls are saying, we like Ross Perot. I remember even Rush Limbaugh got in on it, and he didn't like Ross Perot. Rush Limbaugh was pretty much going the way the Democrat or the Republican Party was. And Ross Perot, he had a guy that faked, Rush Limbaugh had a guy that faked Ross Perot's voice, and he did this little theme song called "They're Coming to Take Me Away, ha ha, they're coming to take me away, ha ha, hee hee, ha ha." Okay, it made it sound like Ross Perot was crazy. So Ross Perot is climbing in the polls, okay? And this is the year that I first got suspicious that something wasn't quite right with the presidential electoral process in the United States of America. Something wasn't right. All of a sudden, Ross Perot, who is at the top of all the polls, comes out and issues a statement and says, "I've decided not to run for president in the United States of America." And I'm going, where did that come from? No explanation whatsoever. No reason like, my heart just won't hold up to it. Nothing. He just drops. Okay? Well, he's out for a while, and nobody mentions. So we got to decide between George Bush and Bill Clinton. And was it? No, it wasn't George Bush, was it? It was somebody else. Anyway, we've got to decide, between the Democrat and Republican. Like a month before the election, Ross Perot gets back in, but he doesn't have the steam, he doesn't have the downhill momentum, has nothing, and he's not elected president. Here's Herman Cain, who people ask me, what do you think about Herman Cain? I don't know. I don't know anything about him other than, I think one time in my teenage years I ate a Godfather's pizza. I don't remember if it was good or bad, but when you're a teenager, if it's pizza, it's good, okay? And you can eat a whole one and not worry about anything. But anyway, I don't know that much about him, but I recognize what I heard back in the early 90s, that Herman Cain was talking like someone who wasn't a politician, who was giving short, bits of wisdom answers to questions that were being thrown at him, and that he was climbing in the polls. All of a sudden, this guy shows up out of nowhere. He's not Mitt Romney. He's not Newt Gingrich. He's not Sarah Palin. He's not any of these people. He just shows up and says, "I am sick and tired of the whole thing. Sick and tired of it." And so he starts saying things that are ringing inside the ears of middle or conservative Americans. And he's climbing the polls, and he's getting up there. Giddy up, horsey. Here we go. Herman Cain could be the next president of the United States. And then some gals come forward and say, yeah, we were part of a lawsuit with Herman Cain. And back when he was such and such, he did such and such, and we had a lawsuit against him, and it was dropped, and we got a sack of money. As long as we promised never to talk about it. Well, what are they doing talking about it? And so then Herman Cain goes on the talk show circuit with his wife. His wife says, "That's crazy, man. This guy never did anything wrong," okay? And then now apparently on Drudge Report, there's a series of articles that comes out and says that there is a woman. Let me read this article from, what day is today? The 29th. This is from today, called The Caucus, the Politics and Government blog of the Times, New York Times. New York Times, in case you don't know, they are owned, okay? They're owned. Let's see here. Herman Cain told members of his campaign staff on Tuesday that he is reassessing whether to proceed with his presidential campaign, an aide confirmed a day after an Atlanta woman disclosed details of what she said was a 13-year affair with him. In a morning conference call with his advisors, Mr. Cain said that he would make a decision in the coming days about whether to stay in the race after his campaign was rocked by another round of allegations about his sexual conduct. And so here's I don't know, just call me Mr. Conspiracy Theory, okay? Here's somebody else that is jumping in the ring to run for president of the United States. He's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He probably would refer to himself as a Republican, but he's not a politician. He's just this independent guy jumping in there that he's saying a lot of things that make sense to some people. I'm not saying it makes sense to me. I'm just saying this is who he is, and he's climbing the polls, okay? And the question that I have in my mind is the same question I had back in 1992. Apparently Ross Perot wasn't owned well enough. Apparently nobody could pull Ross Perot's strings. Apparently that's what it was. And since they couldn't control him, somehow, some way, they forced him out of running for president. Here's Cain. It looks like, maybe I'm jumping the gun, maybe this guy is going to stay in there, and even if all of this stuff is true, which we don't know, this guy's going to stay in there, and he's going to become the next president. Maybe I'm wrong. But it looks to me like they tried. Let me just give you my conspiracy theory, and I don't like to give theories, but this is a little theory of mine. Let's just imagine that Herman Cain is not owned. And so he runs for president. They don't pay a whole lot of attention to him, and all of a sudden he's up here.